Ever wonder how to optimize your video? Are you interested on hands-on how-to training? Well, tonight we have a very interesting. You have a very interesting opportunity. We are going to start from literally the beginning and show you how to get it done, how to do it. We're going to be looking at multiple things, all the facet of creating the opportunity, which is the video, and how we started from ground zero. Like tonight, um, we did all of the lead work last night. So if you were with us last night, you probably looked at, or if you have not, you probably saw this um, thumbnail about why we wanted to create the video about why scammer stay silent. And basically, what you saw was what we did to actually create the script. So if you missed that, you may want to kind of after this or before you finish this video, go back and take a look at that one because in reality, that formed the basis of what we're doing tonight. Tonight we just basically is a continuation from last night. So tonight it's going to be a lot of hands-on training, going through the different elements of what we did last night, and trying to move on to the next step, which is our workflow for actually creating the video. We have, like I said last night, we created all the elements that precede this one. We created a template. We updated the template. We created a video script, and we created a draft video. So tonight we're going to go to the next step, and we're going to do more hands-on work in relation to what we are doing. So the first thing that we did for tonight was choose a title, which is the one you see, right here on the thumbnail for tonight. Right, it's called the optimized video workflow. And if you get that portion of the title or from the thumbnail, that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to optimize the video workflow. We're going to take it from what we did last night, which is led us to a draft video, which I'm going to show you in a minute, to basically to maybe a complete video if we can tonight. There will be a lot of because it's hands-on. There will be time when we're doing work, and the elements need to perfect. They need to come to life. So basically, you have to just bear with us during that time. Let's see if we got. This is the one that we did last night. Let me see. I think it is. Yeah, it is that one. And I think this is the script that no, the basic script. Yep, that's a template right there. I'm going pretty fast because this is not the purpose of tonight. This is a script that we created last night, and these are all the B-rolls that we had to create tonight. Um, so tonight, like I said, after we created the title, we created a thumbnail, which you see right here for tonight, which is this one right here. Okay, so basically, we just sort of wanted to introduce what we're doing, optimize the video workflow, right? So that's basically what you'll see tonight as the creation of that. The second part of it is why scammers stay silent for 3 seconds is the video itself, which this is not the part we're concentrating on tonight, right? Because we did that last night, and hopefully you can always go back and play that video and get all the information that you need from that, right? So after we did that, then we created a description. The description is located on the. I think if you go to the YouTube, let me see if I can find it real quick. We created a basic description to get us started for tonight. If you look at the content for tonight live, it should be right here. So it's a basic description right here. So that's the second part of what we did, because you wanted to have enough information out there to be able to get the video published and get it ready to get enough view for tonight. So gotta check one more thing here. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start with that. So we created a description that was added to the video live stream elements, so that you have some idea as to what we were talking about if you wanted to do that. So this is another hooks for tonight. The hook for tonight is this one here, right? Remember, we want to create hooks, and we want to create uh, different loops. They call curiosity loops. As we go through that, and we may have some tonight, we may not have any, but I will work with you guys through the process, just to be sure that we are able to get what we need for tonight. Like I say, it's a lot of hands-on training, so basically, hang on and let's see how far we get. The first thing we need to do after we did all that, okay, let me see, to optimize the videos, basically, we had to create, and you didn't see this here, but I'm gonna just add it real quick. We're gonna create what's called the video clips for the to edit the video. Remember, B-roll is the king, right? You want to be able. You don't never accept the first elements that you get from a video without having some B-roll changes, right? And the key is we want to have enough B-roll that we could change it every 3 seconds. Okay, so let's go through it, and I'll show you how we're going to do all that. So let's start with creating some B-rolls that will help us out. We don't need this anymore. So these here are the B-roll elements for each one of them. Let's see if if we get lucky, number one, and we are able to create B-rolls. Now, we may not get, like I said every night, we certainly try to get all the work done during the time that we're here, but the truth of the matter is sometimes we get to the end of the video and we get 90% there and things of that nature. So for those of you that are kind of new to what we're doing, we create basically using Meta AI. We create the elements using Meta AI. So I'm gonna start adding some things in here so that you guys have it. So we're doing the B-roll creation. I'm going to use Meta AI. So I'm going to put the site here just in case you want it for your own edit. If you do things fast, never works well. We're going to do Meta AI, so you could just go along with us if you want to. If you missed the class last night about creating B-rolls, you really ought to do yourself a favor and go back and actually listen to what we did last night, because it kind of show you exactly how to create new B-roll for your elements for your video. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Mostly is create B-rolls. So let's get started. Let's get the first one. I think the first one already created it, right? So if I go here and I look at my list of things, this is the one over here: stream close-up of a smartphone vibrating on a scratch wooden table. So these are the one that I created last night. Oh, some of these had to be animated. So let me go here and animate this one, just because I like the colors. So basically, sometimes if you don't do it right, you might just get a video, a flat video, and that's thing was what happened to me last night. I got to be sure that when I look at the settings, I'm getting the right information. So I'm gonna just do one tonight, and then we're gonna move from there. Let me check the setting when that's going on. General one, download configuration. So we're not gonna download it automatically. Video creation, wait, 30 seconds, start with prompt number one. That's when you want to create multiples. And today we're just gonna do it one at a time, just because I'm able to do that. So let's see what happened. So you see that in there? Basically, I like this one. It just basically show that it's ringing, and so you got some movement on there. So this is good enough. This is going to be my first clip. And what I normally do is this. When I download and I go to my download area and I pick it up here, then I call this one number one. Anime usually means that it's basically a video rather than a clip, right? So, and that's why I kind of, before I print anything, I'm able to basically, I'm basically able to see it, so I don't kind of get a clutter in my computer. So that's the first one. So it was already done from last night. Now I want to be sure because I got a lot of these on slow motion. Answering the phone, quiet apartment sound, drop. Let me see what I got out of this one. Do I get an option to animate? There you go. Huh. It did it without a phone, which is kind of funny. So this is the second one. I tell you what, I'm gonna keep it because in essence, that's basically what I was looking for last night. So that's my second prompt, right? Which it says here, a slow motion man answering the phone in a quiet apartment, sound drop out completely, faint ringing, echo fading to the silent shadow death of the field, right? So we will see how that plays out with the actual video. So we got the first set of clips. So let me just mark this on number two, and let me see if I could bring up the video for tonight. So this will be number two. Number two, main answering the phone. Maybe we'll go a little slower than I normally would. Normally I would print everything, and I'll just kind of try to patch it in to kind of move along. But we get more to it if I'm actually able to bring up the basic video that I created, and you guys could see how things get patched up real quick. So let me see that I got here. Open up a browser, bring up NVIDIA AI. Hopefully everything works out, right? So what am I gonna do here? I gotta take down the unfortunately I want to sure my login data doesn't get compromised. So give me a second. I have to stop showing. So you're gonna basically maybe see just basically the thumbnail while I do this. I want to be sure that I'm logging in and don't compromise my password. So give me a second. If I do, it's sort of like I'm just gonna go this way. Not sure what's gonna show up. Probably you should only be seeing my thumbnail until I'm able to get this thing done. There you go. So I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna show my entire screen once again, so you're able to share with you what I'm doing. So now we should be back to par. So what I did was I opened a basic video that I created last night. Let me close this right now. Maybe we could listen to the first part, and you get an opportunity to see what we're doing. Let me see how it sounds unedited. Okay, so that's the first couple of seconds. So let's say that I want to see how my new B-roll will look in that situation. By the way, I can always go back, I think, if I really want to. So I'm going to start the editing process now for the media. So the first two clips are the first two that I created, right? So I could say update, upload media, upload. Usually sometimes I have to delete something to make it work, but let's see what happens when I put it in. It was coming up right here. You see it in there. So basically, that would be I will replace that one with this one, which is the first one, and I'll replace the second one with this one here. And just for the sake of showing the application how it works right away, I'm going to save the changes, right? And another thing in the, I'm going to, after I show this part, what I'm going to, actually, what is that? I'm going to prepare a command that says use my avatar and voice avatar. Remember what you want to do, what we actually said on our prior video was that you could use the tools the AI tools that are available uh, for you to use. But what YouTube is looking for is what's called you, the creator, being able to have a hands on the video that you create rather than letting the AI create everything for you, right? So basically, that's what the YouTube is actually looking for. So what I did first of all, number one, I created B-roll for the first two elements, and I actually directed the video creation software, which is in Video AI, which I'm not endorsing. I'm just sort of using it because I like it. I've been using it for a while, and I'm able to make some changes to it. I use it in along with other tools. The first of all, when I started using it, it was for free, but I ended up creating a lot of videos, and for that reason, I ended up saying, well, maybe I need a subscription to get more than a few videos out there. I kind of try to use uh, the the cheapest option, which is using the media that's available, and then I go ahead and I'll change it, right? Because I think I find that I have more control of what I want. So this, I want you to compare what you saw before to what you see now. Ah, simple. I was something last night. Unfortunately, my video thing is a little slow tonight again. I hate that. I wish I knew how to get it faster. Well, that is perfecting. I have to come back to it in a minute. I'm going to create more B rolls. That's what I'm just saying. Sometimes things work fine, sometimes they don't. So you're looking for what you're looking at was the change of the two B roll. I think you saw the actual B rolls, the creation and the changing. And well, that is happening, but the computer's getting a little thing. I'm going to create the next two. So this one here, I'm going to go to Meta AI, new, create that. And I'm going to get the other one ready to be created. And I'm going to create the first two. So the goal for me tonight is to create all my B rolls. And as I'm creating them, you're able to see the stitch, because I don't want to create all of them because it's kind of boring. Perhaps just looking at that and not looking at the actually what happens at the process. So this is the second one. a wide cinematic shot of a modern living room with military memorabilia. So and I get 4 choices, right? So unfortunately, these are all picked. So I had to animate the one that I like. So the one that I like, things that are bright, things that are nature. So it's actually what it's doing is actually, instead of giving me right away, giving me a video, it's setting up so to give me the still frame, which is kind of good. It gives me more control as to which one I select, but this is an extra step. So I'm gonna press animate to this one. And what it will do is it will create a video clip that I need. And while it's doing that, let me go back over here. Let's start again. Uh, anyway, so what it's doing that, it doesn't matter because you saw the first 2 clips and you move right from there to, this is my avatar, right? So you have my voice avatar being used in one, and this is going to be, it doesn't have a phone on my hand, so it's kind of funny, but in reality, it's just showing you the changes. And if I don't like it, I can always go back and I could change it, right? So right now, let's see what we got here. So this is the video that I created. Uh, Actually, it seems to be like moving through the bedroom. Okay, that's kind of good. So I'm gonna download it. This is gonna be number 3, and I'm gonna create a new one, which I believe is number 4. Yeah, close up number 4, and I'm gonna see if I can make a change here. Let's see, instant analyze. I'm gonna see if I can give it an instruction right now. Create. Let's see what happens if I change that. It's not I'm gonna have to change another area. So I'm trying to just make it into 1 step instead of 2 steps. Okay, so we got here. This is number 3. Yeah, that's fine. This is going through the room. 3. I'm gonna call it room. You got that in there. Let's see what back here. A lot of different screens. So let's see what happened here. So it kind of matches what we're saying. So right now you see that it went straight to a clip, and basically it is a 16 by 9 right off the bat. So we're gonna have to add that little section here to all of the video that I create. See that I'm gonna have to add that too. I'm gonna bring it here so that I'm able to bring it in with the next video. Okay, so let's download. Which one you guys think I should pick? A lot of times, and I'm going to show you this in a minute, once I get to the video itself, how we do uh, some of the exchanges, right? Let's go back here again. I'm going to go back to the video once again. So we're going to go back to edit one more time. We're going to edit the media. I'm going to do a couple of edits. I'm going to see if I could edit the music so you get a chance to see that. Oh, no. Almost went to press the wrong button. I'm good at doing that. So uploaded media. I'm going to upload media. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I'm able to archive some of these right here. Like, for example, this one. Just to be sure that I have plenty of room to do what I need to do. So let's say this one here, archive. Okay, and I'm going to bring up the next two that I just created. Unfortunately, you have to do that. It's only a limited number of rooms for the media available that you're uploading. So you have to be able to archive some of the newer media so you get room in here. So let's see what we have here. So usually I want to read the what's going on here. 3 seconds, the feel of. So it's a choice between that and a choice between this, right? So my video telling me go ahead and use this as number 3. There, I can always change it. I can always go back. Let me go show you this. Let's say that I want to just, okay, maybe I don't like that one that much. I kind of like this one, but not right. I can always go to stock media and select something that tells me that the 3 seconds are off a little bit. So I could use any of these without incurring any additional costs. And of course, somehow I'm not able to navigate all the way down, but it doesn't really matter. So, but I want to use I want to stick with what I did tonight. So I'm going to pick the one for my number 3. And the next one says, those 3 seconds are the most important part of the entire scam. So once again, they have them picking up an old phone. My one has the ability to pick up the new phone. So I'm going to once again apply that. I don't have to do that. I could change all the videos or the video clip and then be able to go back and play it at one time and then save some time on that one. But in reality, since tonight's a training night, basically, I'm going to show you what the capabilities that are available. And I'm going to do just that by doing a couple of more changes here and then going back to using other type of media that's available that I don't have to recreate. While that is going on right now, let me see. Can I give it a command? Yes, I do. I'm going to say use YouTube YouTube copyright free music. And I'm going to say use only, right? So I'm going to give it that command. It's going to take a little bit to go through it because what it's going to go through is basically it's going to strip out all the music that it was there and replace it with YouTube copyright free music. You want to be sure that if you're concerned about monetization, you are concerned about using copyright free elements like music and video clips. So that way you don't get demonetized or for whatever reason, it help you monetize your work, right? So that's going to do that. And we'll see what happens when I make this change. And while that's going on, and then look at the other thing that I just uploaded, let's go back. Picked up a few more elements, right? To be updated, right? So, so this one here, done in software, number flashing rapidly, operator rarely visible. So I just gonna make it and then make a decision whether or not I want to use it. So I copy that, go back to Meta AI, new chat. And by the way, I could literally create all of these. I'm printing all of these automatically. I don't have to do it manually one at a time. But I find out when I get like 40 clips, it's kind of hard to kind of keep it organized. So sometimes I want to do it like one at a time to be sure that everything works okay for me. So that's just basically, and also when I'm providing instruction, when I'm creating a live event, it makes it easier to kind of show the different elements, how they integrate with each other. So, and usually, by the way, sometimes I do this, and I haven't been doing it tonight for whatever reason. Usually, I change the color of the one that I already done. That way, when I go back to the B-roll, I'm able to see exactly where I was. I'm gonna change the last two. That way, there's no way that I could be that I could have an issue with that. So let's go back to. Let me copy this. Let me see the stage of the B-roll. So this is the last one look kind of funny, isn't it? Someone just kind of, if you want some comedy within your video, you kind of say like, "Oh, look at that, she fell off from the chair." What that does, it brings some more curiosity into the video. So I kind of like those kind of. They appear to be glitches, but they're really not. What they are basically is the something that kind of attract the person's attention. The other one that I would have chosen is this one in the middle, number 3, because you see a person walking through, and that seems to have more of a visual effect on me than just a computer running through the screen. I certainly wouldn't pick number 2, which is this one here. It seems to be too timid, but it's your choice. It will be your video as far as what you are creating, right? So uh, you have to make that determination, right? So that was video number what? I already number then. Okay, so it doesn't matter. So that was this one here, right? Then this will be the next one I need to create here. So I just copy it, and I'm going to go here for a new chat. By the way, on the left side, it keeps them in order right here as to what you're doing. So if you kind of get lost, it's really easy to find out where you're at. So while that is going on, let me mark the fact that I already did this one. Yeah, this one is already in the books. It's been done. Okay, so I go back here. And I'm going to try to keep showing you the one that I already done, but until I make a few more, then see what happens. I'm still getting that hourglass syndrome is what I call it. So let me go back and edit more media. And I wanted to show you, these are the 2 that I changed here. So I got 4 that I already done. So this one here, if you look at I'm replacing either that one or I'm doing number 3 and number 5 here. All right, so number 5. It's important that you keep your your clip numbers, because otherwise sometimes it's kind of hard to know what sequence they're supposed to go in there. So it's an issue with replacing that one. Let me see what the next one is. Oh, I'm trying to generate a split screen. I want to- So somehow this one didn't work, but let's go back to this one. So it'll be either this one. I want to be in your picture. This a retired service member. So listen to that. I think on this particular case, right? Because it's talking about an individual that retire, showing a row of computers may not be the best thing to do, right? So in reality, I think the big clip that I have there is the best, right? Because it's talking about an individual and that's called Harry, right? So if I change the B-roll that I created by a computer, I don't think it would work. I don't work. It will not work as well, right? So I think the next two clips are good to go. So even though the fact that I was not able to create this one, multiple call connecting simultaneously, I don't think that that would work. But however, let's say that I wanted to change it. I can always go back to media that I already uploaded, right? So go back here. And I ask myself, any other media that I have already actually support that, right? This one does not seem to do that. So I go to stock media. Let's go to generated media. It's media that I have generated for now. One of the things that I know for a fact is if I already generated that media in a prior video and I want to reuse it again, it doesn't cost me any more money. So like for example, if you want to do this, which I'm not going to do it, right? This one shows a whole bunch of people, connecting to the so-called the internet, right? So for the big clips is about a retired service member named Harry, right? So that none of this B-roll seems to match what's going on. If you remember what I said last night, if the B-roll doesn't match, if the image doesn't match the words, the mind will go blank and basically they will just click away. So I think these two clips are safe for tonight. Let's go to the next one. No uniform, no chain of command, right? So let's figure out. So I'm not going to worry about if this one's not created because it doesn't match what I'm doing. So I'm going to go back here and let's see what we got here. B-roll. And also you have to be careful about what's going on. So an audio waveform visualization is slow forming as a voice command begins speaking after the silence background blur in a tactical style overlay. A medium shot of a man sitting down, listening carefully on the phone. Eyes not on. This seems to be a match a little more. What I'm trying to. I'm gonna create. See if I can be able to create this one, and then match it against what's going on in the background. Let me try that one. Oh, let me go. I gotta go back to my thing here. Like I told you guys tonight, it's gonna be basically a hands-on. So if you guys nine work, there are plenty of video where I conceptually speak about what's going on, right? So tonight is basically hands-on, get your hands dirty, and basically, learn how to get from a B prompt to a video generation software like Meta AI to go back and change your B-roll, but not just throw it together. Be able to understand what's going on, right? So let me create this one, and let's see if it matches anything that's going on in the background. Let's see if it works. Sometimes it's like, does it really work? I got to find out what's going on with my throughput on the video because it hasn't been working fine except for this week. Whatever reason, it slowed down, and I don't know what's going on. Maybe I have too many things pulling from it, and that could be the situation. So let's see what happened in here. And what that's perfecting, I just read this one here, right? Medium shot of a man sitting still, listening carefully to the phone, eyes narrowing slightly and subtle tension, facial muscle cinematic, right? So this is 4 people on the phone, right? I could have used if I would have maintained the the same character, I could have just used my avatar for that again and see what it comes out. But I wanted to just see different variations. So let me look at what we have here on the actual video. So this is just a picture of a building. Next is a person, right? Other people on the phone. So I think this one here we could probably change that one relatively easy. So I'm going to download this one. Let me see, pick one. Doesn't matter to me which one looks more credible. I like when they actually look at the viewer like this one is, or when they have a lot of facial movement. Kind of what you want to do is look something that will attract a visual, be a visual contrast between the video that you are watching and which is the B-roll, is the B-roll and the character that you are watching, right? So you want that diversity on that. So let's go back. This will be number 6. Right, number 6. Go back to what's going on here. And I think that would be much better than that on the individual just talking. So let me go back here. I want to do upload media. I want to do this. And let's see if it comes up. Number 6. Yep, it's going to come up. So that's when you have, if the voice says a civilian life is different, no uniform, no clean chain of command, and the threat doesn't look like any one threat, right? They sound polite. So they're talking about people talking on the phone. So I think that I could replace that one relatively easy, right? So I think the other ones, let me see here. Professional, helpful, that seems to be okay. This one here, the silence is talking about someone trying to listen to no information at all. And this one is, then a voice say hello, right? So let's see what other script we have there, because this one is a sound waveform, which might still be okay, right? So let's go back to my scripts. So I'm gonna pick that one. I don't think I'm gonna do the other one. Well, this is the one over here. Just no formal convoys begin speaking. Background blur and a technical. Let me see what this one would do, because that sounds like the one that will match that in there. And remember, you don't have to change every single B-roll. I just want to change. If you remember, I think I call it the 3%. You want to change at a minimum. I think 3% or 30%. I don't remember. I forgot what I said last night. You want to change. In my view, you want to change a minimum, at least a third of the B-roll that you get, just to show that you have enough input into the actual video. Not a machine did not create the whole thing, right? So, but that's my own personal view. You could, if you look at my video last night, the number might be slightly off, but and like I said, you don't have to change every single one, but you have to see what are the words that are being spoken. Like right here, when you click on the video itself, it tells you, it highlights. So then a voice, hello, can you hear me? That one sentence costing $4,000, right? So basically, you got a couple of clips that relates to that, but this one is the one that is I want to match to what's going on. So let me see what I get here and then make a decision as to what I want to do. See, it's very similar, but that one is just a waveform. But this one here has a face. You are able to identify a face with the voice, right? So to me, this one is more valuable to me than it is the one that I just plain waveform, right? So this would be number 7. No, 7 waveform. I could take some. I don't like long titles, for whatever reason. Long title, I don't like him. So go back to here, go back to here, and let's say that I could just get rid of that one. I kept the preceding three ones, so let's see if it comes up. Yeah, it's gonna come up. I think it's gonna come up. Usually sometimes if I got too many pieces, it won't. See, there you go. That one for that one. I think this one will be better there. Now, the next one talks about money, right? $4,000. This is money. Money is money. You can say U.S. currency. Doesn't matter to me. So you're gonna keep that one. The system is talking about the phone. The phone is pretty modern, so it matches the one that we had earlier. Not a big problem with that to me. The next one says, "Here's an uncomfortable truth. This is random. It's engineered." So not sure what it's trying to mean by having a phone in there. But let me see what B-roll I have that I might be able to use. So I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on from this one to the next set of B-roll. Audio input, phone call, waveform, response time, and close-up blinking cursor, high engagement. So let me see what these are. Probably pretty good. Let's see what I get as far as a picture from them, and then I'll make a decision. Sometimes you could just say it looks good enough and move on. Sometimes you could say I want to do something different right away. Want to be sure I don't forget to do this, so I don't have to do a 2-step process. And understanding the tool, one of the things that you want to do is like use the tool as much as you can, because sometimes you are able to spot changes that that you see right away, and you're able to make some small corrections. Maybe next time that we do this, I'll do both of them 2 at a time. I don't want to do it tonight because I don't want to experiment. Our time is somewhat limited, and I don't want to experiment too much on that. So tonight I should be able to finish all of the B-roll, whether we do it online, whether you stay with me or not. And then tomorrow night, I should be able to post the video. I should be able to basically show you what the full outcome of the video is, and you can make your mind as to what you think you should do, and whether or not you like the changes. If you don't like the changes, let me know. What would happen is I will make some changes. Okay, so first let's see here. Hot style overlay, analyzing audio inputs, right? So we're comparing these over here, right? Right. This one looks pretty good to compare to this one here. This is engineer. So I think this one kind of look kind of meek. I think we could choose probably. Let me see. It's a lot of movement on this one, but I like this one better. I like number 4 because it seems to be, if you're talking about engineer being looked at or whatever, that seems to be a little better for me. So let me see over here. So we go here. No, not there yet. We're not there yet. So this would be number 8. Number 8. Number 8 for this one. And I'm pushing my luck. So I'm going to archive a few more, archive. Not because of anything else, but just sort of, the likelihood I'm going to use these are kind of archive. I'm going to just archive 3 or 4 of these. I can always get them if I need them, but it is what it is. So let me see, upload. What is this over here? Sound because it's a bad connection or a cheap call center. What is this guy doing? Crying? So what did I just create? Let me see. I couldn't create the second one. So I'm going to replace this one. That'll be number 8. You'll be the judge of that, but I think the uploading the one that we just created is much better than just this one for what the voiceover is, right? So to me, you are going to my friend. This one didn't want to give me anything. It says most people think scammers stay silent because of a bad connection. So this is just a person on the phone, which looks pretty good. So I probably want to keep it. But what I could say is, let me check my my generative. First, let me check my stock media to see if I have something a little better. It's a person on the phone. Can I do a search on that? Okay, I'm going to say phone, for example. I haven't done this before. I don't know what's going to come out of this thing. So this thing that have phone in it, right? So you gotta know I could change it for this one because a different person on the phone just for the sake of I made a change, right? So let's see what else we have. Again, another person on the phone. So I have choices. Another person on the phone here. Okay. So let's say for the sake of argument, I just want to pick that one, right? I don't know what that is yet. So, but before I kind of give up on saying this is my final selection, right? What I would do is let me go check my generative media, and can I do a search here as well? Now I could create more, but I don't want to create more because that is costing me money. And I'm gonna quickly look if I find somebody on this is his phone. I don't find anything here particularly that would be good replacement. This is media that I created using AI and previous video that I can always pop in here. So I'll remain with the one that I changed here and see what's going on. And I'm not going to do any change on that. So let's move on to the next one. Identify not a random. This is silence is intentional. It's a filler because whatever. So don't know what's going on, whether the person crying or not. Or actually, they're not crying. They're actually losing money. They're counting their money. That's a scammer counting their money, right? Saying, okay, so I understand what's going on in that. So let me go back to this one is fine. So I keep that one. Okay. So both of these are good. Put on. Go back over here. And what I would do is probably spend some more time doing this thing right now, and I'm gonna probably look real. I'm gonna try to keep as many of the B-roll that I have. I think I made enough changes already that you got the idea as to what's going on. I want to try to keep as many as I can now, and just worry about big changes that I want to, big area where I want to make a change, right? Close up with a thumb hovering it over the end. That's pretty good. No one quite on the phone on screen drawing dark trenches. Okay, let me try this one. And while I'm doing this one is being created, I'm going to take a quick look around the video, see how much of it can we keep, okay? Because there's no point of changing everything, right? That's not the objective of, right, new chat. That's not the objective of what we're trying to do. It's only change the one that makes no sense and for what's going on. So let's see here. Or something that in essence, okay, so you got this one, it's okay. This one says, today aren't just dialing number, they are just running a system. So it's a person in the office running a system. So I kind of like that. Called the human scam. So they're talking about another human person getting involved. So that's okay. Your number is marked. So that's kind of okay too, because it actually is still within the data center. This one here. Now you are worth more. So worth money. We see. So let's go for. Let me see something here in the stock media. Something dealing with money. What comes up? I probably like that, something dealing with money, because that's talking about worth, right? I wish I could search in my other media on that. So see this one. Some of these will probably be a little better for me. So let me see one that catches my attention. I like American dollars, but hey, beggars can be choosers sometimes. This kind of media is just available. So you got, see this one here, cash roll, pile of money. What is it saying there? I don't know what it says there. I like this one. So it says here, now that you are worth handling off to a reoperator, right? Worth handling off, worth money. So the picture to me is 1,000 words. So that's worth more, meaning more money for an operator. So that kind of makes sense to me. This one says here, yeah, piling up certain thousands of funds, basically targeting veteran and older adults. So this one here, I'm not so sure about that one. So let me go back to see what I have for my this one. Okay. I think I just did that one. Okay. I think I'm gonna like this one, but I'm not gonna probably not gonna replace it right now because of it doesn't match anything that I'm working on, but it will later on. Okay, so let me keep that for there, and let me go back here. I think it's talking about an older adult. Well, so, create a light of your space. So there's nothing there that I want to use for that. So like I said, even though you get B-roll, doesn't mean that you have to use them. You know, this is what we talked about like last night, how to defeat it. I gave you this video gives you 5 step how to defeat the 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 um the scam. Okay. Okay, so over the phone or shadow someone enabling silence unknown caller in the phone sitting up. Two people sitting in the kitchen table. I'm explaining this. So this one may be a good one. I think both of these are pretty good, but I'm gonna start with this one. See what it gives me. I seem to like it. Go back to here. And I think I said I downloaded that one already, but I'll have to see later. And what that's being created, let me mark the next one as number. Oh, this is number 8. This is number 9. Although I'm not going to use number as number 9, but it's going to come home handy in a few minutes. I think this is more a visual about people, and that's what I want to see. This one is about 2 people talking, so let me see which one is better. It's a little darker. I don't like dark clips. I mostly like real bright one. This one is a shot going in, so a lot of movement on that one. I think I like this one out of all the 4 that I like, and this is why you want to have choices, because in reality you want to kind of be able to pick any one you want to, and if you don't like it, you can always come back, and you will find it by looking on the left side and then be able to pull it and be able to get that done. So this will be number 10, and we are going to be able to change that one here for the what's going on the clip here, right? It talks about serving the times, especially targeting veteran and other adults, right? So even though it's not about this, whatever this is, so right, I'm going to replace, go back to, I'm going to go back to upload media. I'm going to do number 10. I'm going to replace it for that one, because it's basically to me this one is about people, right? So here we go. So you replace. So this one here's the part that nobody's talking about. So this is again, not sure what this is. So again, it's more about people, but I'm gonna see if I could find. I don't think I have anything on generative. Let me go look real quick. Well, that could be someone saying like, this is something nobody's talking about. So basically, it's a person talking about it, basically, right? So let's say I like that one, right? Because it says this is something nobody's talking about it. So basically, you have somebody talking about it. And the next clip matches that. Mirror your sound. That's someone that says scammer talking back to the individual, right? So that makes sense to me. This one is recording when it's coming. It's been 15 minutes building up trust. So it's talking about building up trust. So I'm not sure what that means, but let's go back to what we have here. So that could mean you reuse, like I used that one to start, right? So I could use this one here, which is a different clip where someone is building up trust with you in a one-to-one conversation that seems to be more matches things a little better. There we go. So 11, it's going to be clip 11. Go back over here. And you have to remember, if you pick the clip, right, and you get 4 choices and you don't select one of the choices, you can always go back and basically pick another one. You don't want to reuse the same one, but you could go back and use the a different clip, even though it was part of this previous B-roll script. Script. You could go back. It's just different. If you see the difference between the two, it's different. And I like that one more than this one. This one is, I don't know what this is here, right? So I like this one better. So it's replaced. So the next one, that's okay. I think I know what's going on with that because I listened to the whole video. So I'm going to skip that one. So it actually can happen for those 3 seconds. Here's a mechanism to stop it from whatever. So what's going on here? Not just about answering, it's about how you answer, right? So it's talking about how to answer the phone, right? I could use this one that I haven't been using it. Let me see, this one is one. Yeah, I used that already. I think I used this one too. So I'm going to skip that one. Let me see what I have here. Don't like anything there right now. Stock media. I say, uh, see the word answering. It gives me anything. May not give me anything, but or at least nothing that I can use. But if you don't look, you'll never know, right? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but so I could go back to a phone search and see what that gives me, because we're talking about phone answering anyway. Phone. I know we have a couple of clips on that. See if anything makes sense over here. This time we're gonna pick. I don't like my first choice. Usually I had to go more forward. This can be answering the phone here as a replacement. This one is dialing out. Came out twice, so you're the winner. Right, talk about answering, and then this one is analyzing. That looks like analyzing something. No interference, no script, just you. And once you categorize, so this seems to be matching what we did earlier. Let me see what I have here about categorizing. Sometimes you just got to go back and look at, what you done. Doesn't seem to match anything that I've done earlier, so that's just me. Categorizing could be, but I thought this one was a video here. Oh, here it is. I only used this one last time, right? So the same, I could reuse that one, or I could use some of the one that are left for categorization, right? So I think between 1 and 3 is what I'm thinking of, right? So let's go 3. I like the number 3. So that will become my 12 one. That's what I was saying earlier. If you don't like what you have available to you and you want to change it, you can always go back and do the same thing. And sometimes, most of the work that we do in the video creation is what I'm doing right now, basically selection and things of that nature. And it could be a pretty lonely event for us, right? So basically, uh, someone once told me misery love company. I'm not miserable, right? But in reality, I want to share this portion of the video creation with you. And if it's something that interests you, I know it seems to be repetitive in nature, but it really isn't, because you're actually making a selection, a visual selection, and you're doing it. You're going to the gut into what we do, right? The question is, what would be better for the video? Would it be this one here, or would it be just a simple waveform when I'm talking about categorization? So I think for me, I think this one is better. So that's how I'm going to use that, right? Again, this one, again, it talks about categorizing. So that's kind of okay. This one says, to be honest, part of the course, because turn out something simple could be like answering the phone. Again, answering the phone once again here, right? Now, this is an older model, which most of us don't use. and I already had two B-roll for which there were no people involved. And I got one person, then another B-roll, which is kind of blank. So for me, I would look to something where and actually somebody's actually on the phone, answering the phone, or doing something related to that, right? So that doesn't. It's the only phone that I have here. It doesn't really match. Generally, I'm gonna see if I can find something general so I don't have to recreate it. Phone. Okay, let's use that one. A little more sophisticated, newer telephone. This one is a person. I like this one because a person is on the phone, right? So I'm gonna pick that one to replace that. Now I have two B-roll, which are basically static information, and two B-roll where there's people actually doing some activity, right? So that's good. Then I go back to another B-roll, which basically is nothing. It's a stack media, right? Because the goal is only to avoid a phone call, is to avoid being classified as a good target. So how do you avoid that? Remember that we created a B-roll where someone was actually hovering over the phone to avoid being answering the phone, right? So that one, that's what we're going to use it now. And I believe that was this one here. This one here. See, it kind of makes sense to use it here because they're talking about avoiding, right? So avoiding means not clicking the that button, so to speak, which matches the second one, the next B roll, not the second one, but the next B roll, right? So this one here, there is silence. So somebody answer the phone and silence, same kind of a thing. Or let me see, go back to am I on uploaded media? What is this here? This seems to be a little more nothing's going on, but it's silence means nothing. Or this one is kind of a one that is basically saying, I don't think so, right? So let's see how that would play over here. Nope. Yep. Silence means no. Like I kind of like it. Um, see, report respond. That's okay. Make it practice. You want to protect yourself. Spot a scam. I like it. First unknown number caller. Some phone number. That's good. If you don't answer the phone and stay silent, again, this one is talking, but it's okay. No confusion there. Never confirm personal information. Okay, it's on the phone. Good. Stay. Use the phone setting. That's a mark. Using the phone setting is fine. Talk about this with people. Again, the center of this B-roll seems to be a computer, whereas the conversation was about talking to people. Now here you have a choice. You could reuse some of the one that we talked about it because it's talking about building trust. It's about talking. So it kind of makes sense to reuse the same B-roll. I'm going to reuse this for the purpose of saying, don't be afraid. You don't have to create every single one. So if a particular B-roll matches the what you're doing another part of the video, you want to bring it in, it's okay. It's not a big deal. This one here, voice spoof number. So I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I kind of like that. This one is so long as the mid set isn't fear. So let me see what I have on my B-roll here that I'm creating. Let me copy this. See if it's anything dealing with fear. Difference away from slow down. Standing on the window. Sitting, flickering outside. Reflective mood again. Quiet strength. Not sure. Close up or subscribe button. That's getting to the end. A veteran sitting quietly, calm, expression, stuff like. Okay, let me try this one to see how we look. If not, because I think that that one is for a person rather than looking at the a wall. So that's when you have to kind of use your creative imagination and say, what would look better looking at an inanimate object than to look at basically a person that has some expression on his face. And I have some that I could probably go take a look at it real quick while this is being done, see if I could find it. I have some B-roll that I used recently and see if I could find that real quick. To thumbnail. Let me see. No B-roll right here. This one was pretty good. It's not. It doesn't show fear, but it kind of looks at you. I like this video because it actually looks at you in the face. You know what I'm saying? Sort of like it's kind of a cool one. I'm gonna, if I don't like the one that I've created, I'm gonna probably move this one to in. No copy. I'm gonna move it here as. I may not use it, but that's gonna become my number 11, number 12, number 13. But let me see, before I say that, let me see if I'm what I produced doing the creation of the B-roll. Not only show act of fear, but they kind of show more like this guy's a little bit more skeptical. You're like, like what are you talking about? So I'm gonna pick him because I like the expression on his face. It's a little bit stern, and although it's not fear, it's like kind of like inquisitive, and basically says like, "What are you doing? What are you doing to me?" So I'm gonna. Sorry about that, but I'm gonna use this one for 13A. I'm gonna call it 13A. 13A. Okay. I'm gonna bring it up, and I'm gonna see what looks better, that person or what I have there right now. So again, this is just a wall, right? So I think it'd be much better if instead of looking at that, because as long as the term mindset isn't fear, right? And this person, you could tell that it's not fear, right? It's awareness. Like it's looking at a person, so like I'm aware what you're trying to do, back off, kind of stuff, right? Look at this one. You don't need to understand every scam. You just need to recognize the pattern. So now here, I could bring 13 because it's sort of like looking at you saying, I see you, I recognize you. 13A. Let's see, where is it at now? Sometimes when you don't do it the same day, it makes it really hard to find. Here you go, 13. So instead of looking at a pattern, which is basically that's what it is, it's a filler, right? It's a filler. This one probably do a lot better because this one is sort of like a person that turns around and look at you and saying, "I don't need to understand what you're doing to me. I just need to recognize the pattern that's going on and be able to do that." Right? So that's good there. Once they're clear, you never get everything. So the wallet's talking about money. That's good. He didn't lose every money, but because of I don't know what this is going on. He didn't lose the money because of what he didn't know, but didn't know better, right? I'm so telling you, maybe whatever. I'm not sure what's going on with this one, but and I have a female, right? So it doesn't kind of match what's going on. I'm going to go back and I'm going to reuse him. I kind of like his expression, right? Because it kind of talks about, I recognize you. And then he didn't lose everything because he was skeptical. You could tell on his face that he felt skeptical about what was going on, right? And then this one here, the question becomes for me: does it match the order of things that are going, or can I reuse some of the other person on the phone? Like for example, I already used this one. Oops, darn it. Sorry, my friend. I already used this one. Do I want to introduce another person? Because the mind, if you saw him earlier, right, on the phone, and later on the video he comes out again in the same pattern, you can say, okay, he was in the video. You don't have to register a new individual in your brain, right? So I'm gonna change it to that. This is about subscribe, so I could keep that, or I have a couple of other options for subscribing. I have her headless, and this one doesn't show subscribe, or I have her that actually shows the whole thing. So I'm choosing her. Doesn't mean anything to me at this particular point. Most people, before you answer this, have you ever stayed on the line during that silence? So silence again, I like for what we did. There's a couple of frame that kind of like this one sort of matches a little bit the vibe that's going on there. Maybe it doesn't, but I kind of like it. So someone need, it's okay. This is a phone, not a big deal. Um, that's how to fight back. Okay, so that's how to fight back. So what's going on the last clip? What's the last thing you want to put in there, right? So I'm gonna put in follow me. Ooh, what happened? Did I change it? Or not? I didn't change it. It's the one here. Just because I mean it kind of matches what I said earlier. You don't want to at least subscribe to the very end. You want to put it towards the end, and then you have another pic that actually frame what's going on. So all that I'm going to apply that I'm going to save those changes. It might take a few minutes to do that. It's going to go through the entire video and make all the changes that we talked about. So just to summarize, I placed my avatar in a couple of places here, and I basically added B-rolls in all of the places that I thought applied based on the voiceover that was going on, and also use my voiceover, and I use YouTube copyright free music throughout to see how it's doing that. And what I could do basically is, if you want to wait a couple of bit, I'm probably gonna, if it doesn't play out correctly, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just download it and listen to it. I had to listen to it in its entirety, so maybe you guys will listen part of it with me. And if it sounds okay from the beginning, I may kind of cut off the video. Maybe not. Maybe I listen to the whole thing. I don't know how long it is. It is almost 7 minutes, which is compared to the time that we spent here. 7 minutes be nothing. So maybe I'll just listen to it once I download it, and basically that becomes the end of the video tonight. And that way, those of you that stay with me to the end, you are able to see how a video that comes out of a AI generated system can be transformed by using B-roll that actually applies to what's going on in the voiceover, right? So you have a one-to-one from the voiceover to the B-roll, either because you created a B-roll or because you chose a B-roll that was applicable to the voiceover and the scene that was being played. And if you remember, one of the reasons why people are getting demonetized basically has to do with the fact that people are not they just put in some script and they printed it out. There's no effort whatsoever in what's going on. Let me see what's going on here. If it doesn't play out correctly, what I'll do is I will just print it and we will do it again. So let's go ahead and let's get started. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. So what I'm gonna do is, because it's printing kind of, it's doing kind of crazy stuff, right? So I'm gonna say download download the video because I already saved it. See, it only cost me 3 stock licenses for to doing all the, because I kind of brought up most of my stuff. I just used what was given to me on stock licenses, and I was able to change the B-roll. So if I had the system generate this video for me, it would have cost me like 200 stock credit, which is basically more than what I had. So I was able to basically stop creating video. I had to pay money to get the video printed out. So in reality, what you want to do is you don't want to use a lot of B-roll if you don't have to, right? You want to basically be able to just use the minimum number of B-roll that you can. This is simple. This is great. I love it. I'm playing around with a different mode to see if I could get both my picture and the thumbnail to be seen at the same time. But I'm getting a lot of different information, so I don't really want to do that. So right now, I'm just waiting for the actual video to show up. So I'm gonna go back and show you more than what I have here. Go back to this. I'm gonna try to get you the so you're able to see. Oh, no high. I'm gonna try to show you the entire screen once again, and I'm able to show you what I'm working on, which is right here. As you see right now, if you look here, it's rendering the video. It's about 2%, so it's gonna take a little bit of time. So get a cup of coffee, do something, and in the meanwhile, I'm gonna try to summarize a little bit of what we did tonight and give you an idea. I mean, it was very simple. I used just a couple of tools. I used InVideo AI, which is this right here, right? And I use InVideo AI, and I use for tonight. I use Metal AI to create the B-roll. And as you saw here, I created various B-roll for tonight that I could download. Usually, by one prompt, it will give me 4 different video clips that I can use for my video. And I could, in this case, I used 2 out of the 4, which is pretty good. And most of the other cases, I only use 1 or 2. This one I used 2 of them also. Sometimes it doesn't work. It kind of asking for more information or to tweak it. Sometimes if I have time, I would do that. But if not, I just move on, because not every B-roll that I get kind of makes sense to me. And also, as you saw in this one here, I chose the one that had not only the waveform, but also had a picture of a person in the background. Because remember, at the end of the day, people are looking at this thing. They don't want to be seeing a lot of fancy stuff. So people identify with people, right? So for me, if I have a choice between getting a B-roll that's just signal or one that's signal and a person, I would choose a person every single time. So that's what you saw tonight. That's what you saw tonight. Where are we doing on that? It's almost getting close. Okay. Oh, it's ready to be downloaded. See right here. That means the signal is being downloaded. I'm going to show you the thing in a second or two. So, but let me go back to this right here. And again, it's more of that. But importantly tonight, right, we talked about how we started. The question was, do you ever wonder how to optimize your video? So in reality, if you stay with me from beginning to end, you should have seen how I started from basically a title, optimize the video workflow. And from that title, I went to to this thing here called what is this thing? Gemini. And I created a thumbnail and I created a description, right, which I later used to upload to my wonderful software here, right? That's from last night, and this is from tonight. Okay, so I placed this one. It looks a little better. But that's the one that we did last night. That's when we created the script, and we created the script for the B-roll, right? So we did that last night, and then tonight we did created the live information, so to be able to present it to you through restreaming, right? Restreaming, you could have a free service portion that you could use, do exactly what I'm doing, it's totally free. Or you could have a pay option if you're going to use it. I think I use it almost every day since I got it. So once I get decided, you know what, this might be a good investment. It doesn't cost a lot of money. So I went ahead and I purchased it. Now, remember what I said. I'm not endorsing any of this tool myself. Basically, what you have to do is you have to use it. I'm a user, basically, right? I'm a user of this tool. And basically, for that reason, you can go ahead and use it yourself or not. So give me a second. I'm trying to get to the to see if I'm able to change what's going on here. I'm trying to show you where I was at. I was in here, replace. Okay, here you go. Entire screen. Should be able to see what I'm saying right now. So the video is already downloaded. I'm going down here. Still not done. This is what's going on right here. So it's going to be done in a few minutes. So we'll see what happened. I'll come back to it in a second or two. So go back here. Go back to my live show. And I should be able to see. The screen is not changing, so I'm not sure what's going on now. That's why I love this video. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. Replace. Entire screen. Share. Should be able to see what's going on now. Let me see if you guys see what's going on in a second. I want to go. I'm looking at the live feed output, right? And it's a little bit delayed, so it doesn't tell me right away whether or not what I'm transmitting is something that you're actually seeing. So I had to change the video concept a couple of times to make sure that that's the case. Yeah, see, it's not actually transmitting the video, so I want to be sure that I'm able to do that. So how do I do that? Let me go back over here. Show. Replace. Entire screen. I won't show the video until I'm able to make sure that you guys are seeing the actual video, because it makes no sense for me to play it if you guys cannot see it. It makes no sense for me to do this either because it's not coming out. Oh Lord. Trying to get to the end of what we do. Okay, I can see it now. You guys can see what I'm seeing. Oh, here it is. Is that the one? This is just for the individual, I think. Yeah, this is for the individual. That's a good test of what's going on here. And I'm going to go back here again. I don't want to download it again because they probably charge me once again for the. Here you go. Here. So this is the video that we just created tonight.
There is a moment.
Let me Let me go
right
here.
after you answer an unknown call where nothing happens. No voice, no background noise, just silence. 3 seconds that feel off. And what most people don't realize is those 3 seconds are the most important part of the entire scam. Because in that silence, they're not waiting on you. They're deciding if you're worth targeting. I want you to picture this. A retired service member, let's call him Harris, spent 22 years in uniform, structured life, clear rules. You know who the enemy is. But now,
So this is what I was saying earlier, right? So we wanted to bend it towards our niche, and basically we went to from a veteran that was spent time in the military to someone that may now be a target of a scam, right?
civilian life is different. No uniforms, no chain of command. And the threats don't look like threats anymore. They sound polite, professional, sometimes even helpful. Harris gets a call, unknown number. He answers. Silence. Then a voice, hello?
See, that's the one that we actually replace, where we have the picture of an individual's and we have the waveform saying hello. So kind of to me, that's much better than just the waveform by itself. But you're the judge of that.
Can you hear me? That one sentence cost him $4,000 over the next 3 days. Not because the system he trusted, phones, caller ID, even his own instincts had already been studied.
Again, I kept this B-roll because I think this B-roll sort of matches what's going on. So there's no point changing that.
And here's the uncomfortable truth. This isn't random. It's engineered.
So again, I think that one talking about engineer is more apropos than what we had there, which was just a phone. This seems to be more of a system that was going through right now. So that's why I want to be sure that we use that one.
This isn't random. It's engineered. Most people think scammers stay silent because of bad connections or cheap call centers. That's not it. It's definitely not random. That silence is intentional. It's a filter.
Because scammers today aren't just dialing numbers, they're running systems.
So again, this is people working in the office, so it's like a systematic approach to business. Where you have people in an office making phone calls and following through.
Automated dialers blast thousands of calls at once.
But here's the catch. A real human scammer only gets involved after you pass a test.
That test?
Your reaction to silence. If you hang up.
And that's the key. The one that I just said there is the key to the entire video that I present. In the test, what is the test that the scammer looking for is your reaction to silence. And that's what we want to be sure aware when we publish the video.
That test? Your reaction to silence. If you hang up quickly, you're marked as low value. You say hello twice, maybe 3 times, now you're engaged.
So again, you want to avoid being engaged by, first of all, we're saying don't even pick up the phone if it's an unknown number. But if you happen to pick it up, just don't say anything. Silence for at least 3 seconds, hang up, and that's it. You know, the first thing will be don't pick up the phone. Right?
Now you're patient. Now you're worth handing off.
And this is the one that I'm saying, you're patient, you're worth more money to the scammer. So that's why I thought putting this picture of money was more appropriate than what we had there, which was a picture of a building.
A real operator. And once that happens, the game changes. Let me show you how this actually plays out. There was a pattern observed in thousands of scam calls, especially targeting veterans and older adults. Step 1, mass dialing. Step 2, silence detection. Step 3, human takeover. But here's the part nobody talks about, the tone shift.
So you see that one? No one is talking about it, and you have a head, talking head actually is talking about it, right? So that kind of shift from what we had there to basically, which I forgot what it was, like a phone being shown to an actual person, changing the tone, actually shifting from the mass dialing to actually speaking to people.
When a real person comes on the line, they don't rush. They mirror. If you sound cautious, they sound respectful. If you sound confused, They become helpful.
I've listened to recordings where scammers spent 15 minutes building trust before even mentioning money.
Again, the one about building trust, right? What's building more trust than a person at a coffee table, talking one to one? So if you ever been on sale, they say that that is the goal mine. You want to get to the portion that you get to the decision maker one to one in the kitchen table, talking about your where basically. So that's how you're talking about building trust. I think that picture sort of encapsulate what we are trying to accomplish.
Scammers spent 15 minutes building trust before even mentioning money.
15 minutes. That's not desperation. That's discipline. And honestly, it reminds me of something. In the military.
So this is how, again, I make something that is random, like mass dialing scam through my niche, which is the military niche, helping veterans. So if you were with me last night and you saw my script, it kind of, I bended the information towards my niche, right? It's not just to write about certain things. You want to be sure you stay within your niche about what you are talking about, because if you talk to my subscriber, they will tell you basically what we're trying to do is feed veterans, right? So if I just talking about a random thing like scam, you say like, why are you talking about a scam when you're talking about should be talking about veterans? So now this is how I hook you back into my goals and objective, which is to fill veterans.
You're trained to observe before acting. They're doing the same thing, just for the wrong reasons. So what's actually happening in those 3 seconds? Here's the mechanism most people miss. It's not just about you answering, it's about how you answer. The system is analyzing time to response, tone of voice.
So I keep this one again talking about a system, right? Systematic way of tracking your voice. So I think you have a lot of waveform here that kind of indicate audio, like for example, on the upper left and the center, all that could be audio, things of that nature. So and talks about a systematic way of doing that. So that's why I kept that B-roll.
Background noise, even how long you stay on the line without input. That silence gives the system a clean read. No interference, no script, just you. And once you're categorized, your number gets tagged.
I kept that one as
Not
well.
just for one scam, but potentially shared across networks. That's why some people say, once I answered one call, they never stopped. Because in a way, you were verified. And I'll be honest, this part bothers me the most. Because it turns something simple like answering your phone into a data point. So what do you do with it?
So that one was sort of like a curiosity loop that I just introduced there, turning something simple into something more complex. So what is it? So see what I'm saying? Oh, it's a phone call. So that one, the purpose of that was if you were thinking of dropping after almost 5 minutes, we're hoping that that curiosity loop will keep you listening for a little longer.
You don't panic. You change your behavior slightly.
This is a good
Because the
one.
goal isn't to avoid every call. It's to avoid being classified as a good target. Here's the shift. Stop treating unknown calls like conversation. Treat them like signals. If there's silence, don't fill it. Let them speak first. If they don't, hang up. No second hello. No curiosity. Because every extra second you stay engaged increases your value to them. And I know that feels counterintuitive. We're wired to respond, to be polite. But politeness is exactly what they're exploiting. Let's make this practical.
So I left that play because that kind of was sort of the meat and potato of what we're trying to convey, try to communicate to us, our viewer and subscriber, that basically how to avoid being swindled. But here we're going to go into more practical application.
If you want to protect yourself or someone in your family, follow this system. First, unknown number calls. Let it ring. If it's important, they'll leave a message. Second, if you do answer and hear silence, wait, don't speak. Give it 2 seconds, then hang up. Third, never confirm personal info on inbound calls. Even something small like your name can be used to build a profile. Fourth, use your phone settings. Silence unknown callers. filter spam. It's not perfect, but it reduces exposure. And fifth, this one matters most. Talk about this with people who might not know, because scams don't just target weakness, they target isolation. This isn't going away.
And this is what I mentioned before. I let that portion play again, because again, that kind of is sort of the practical application of what we are talking about. So if you stay to the end, you're able to. Well, I just seen the entire video. I'm gonna do a premiere on this one most likely this coming Friday. I don't like to do premiere in the middle of the week because I cannot get everybody to kind of participate on that. So I'm gonna try to do it either for Friday afternoon, which everybody getting home, and I don't know about that, or Saturday morning. When people have more fresh in their mind. So I had to figure out what would be best around before noon on that. That is my target audience is not online at that point. They either from 6 to 8 a.m. or from 4 to 7 p.m. But I find that in the weekend, people may be more amenable to what's going on. So I have to figure it out. I have to see what my system is telling me the availability is. I cannot do a premiere like a 6 a.m. in the morning. It just doesn't. I'm not up that early.
If anything, it's getting more sophisticated. AI voices, spoof numbers, even calls that sound like people you know. So the long-term mindset isn't fear, it's awareness. You don't need to understand every scam. You just need to recognize the patterns. And that silence, that's one of the clearest signals you'll ever get. Not everything that waits deserves your response. Here's the part that stays with me. Harris, the guy I mentioned earlier, he didn't lose that money because he didn't know better. He lost it because the world changed and nobody told him the rules had changed too. So now I'm telling you, and maybe more importantly, you can tell someone else. If this helped you even a little, hit subscribe. We're building.
And obviously, like I said earlier, you kind of, this is not the end of the video, but we did kind of towards the end, you want to kind of ask for subscription. If you haven't not subscribed to my channel, I do ask you to subscribe. I'm trying to do a couple of great things, which is to feed our veterans and keep the viewers informed of potential scam and things of that nature. So we can always use your help. Every subscriber help feed at least a veteran. Thank you. Let me continue.
This channel to support and feed veterans who've already given more than most people ever will. And before you go, answer this. Have you ever stayed on the line during that silence? And what happened next? Because your story might be the warning someone else needs. And sometimes that's how we fight back.
Okay, I believe
There's a
I'm not gonna
moment
play it again, of course. That's the another video. And I'd like to, if you stay with me from beginning to end, I really truly appreciate it. It was really enlightening. I know today was a meat and potato kind of a day where we actually roll our sleeve, literally, and begin to kind of patch together a video based on what we created the last couple of days. If you remember, you're looking right now in the upper left is the thumbnail for the video that I created when I was doing um, excuse me, the script, right? This one here. So if you go look at yesterday's video live show, you probably saw that one there. And this one here, the one that you're looking at today, was the one for today. So basically, you can, in effect, um, uh, you should look at them as basically going hand in hands. One talks about the meat or potato creating from scratch, basically an explanation to a basic formulaic kind of script to the development of a script, the update of a script. And then today you actually got and the creation of the draft video that happened kind of in part yesterday. And today you actually saw the hands-on, how to, take the B-roll script that you got and create it into active video using Meta AI, and be able to then update all of the B-roll that are applicable, not every single one, that are applicable to the creation of a final video, and how to use your voice avatar if you have one, how to use your voice, not just your voice, but your avatar as part of the clip to make it more human, make it more you. Hopefully, this was great for you, and hopefully, you like what you saw. If you do, please leave me a comment. With that being said,